Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium here on the campus of Taylor University for this big cross-county matchup between the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats and the Taylor University Trojans. Rick Johnson here with you tonight for what should be a good one here from the Upland campus. Taylor will kick off first. They'll go from right to left in white. Indiana Wesleyan will defend in red. Both teams come in receiving votes in the most recent top 25 coaches poll. It also is a matchup tonight of some of the top goal scorers in the conference. Tia Sanford leading the way goal scoring for Indiana Wesleyan. She's 7 in red. She has 12 goals on 68 shots this year. That leads the team and is also second in the Crossroads League. The Trojans counter with their freshman sensation, Erin Tevens. She is third in the conference in goals with 10, and she's also getting her tag team partner back in Bailey Zare. Bailey playing in her 4th game in a row after missing 5 straight with a lower body injury. Bailey comes in with 8 goals and 8 assists for the senior from Windsor, Colorado. Second on the team in goals, 8th in the league in goals, and tied for 2nd in assists. Indiana Wesleyan comes in 4th in the Crossroads League with a 3-2-1 league record, 10 points overall. The Trojans 1 point behind them with 9. Taylor 3-3 overall in the league. The Trojans tied for 5th with Mount Vernon Nazarene, and a big match tonight if Taylor can get 3 points. They're just a point back, as we mentioned, of Indiana Wesleyan for 4th, and they're 2 points back of the 3rd spot. And remember, the top 4 teams in the Crossroads League when the regular season comes to a close will host a first-round tournament game. A turnover as Davis able to steal it. Zare had took a big touch off of her foot, and Madison Abbott will scoot it up and play it over to the far side of the field here for Indiana Wesleyan. 3 matches or 3 contests going on tonight. 2 here on the Taylor campus, just inside Odell Arena. Taylor volleyball taking on Huntington, and the men's soccer team of TU, they square off with Indiana Wesleyan tonight on the road over there in Marion. Wildcats led by first-year head coach Daniel Seifert. Seifert comes over to IWU after spending 9 seasons at Crossroads League foe Mount Vernon Nazarene, where he totaled an 86, 59, and 15 record in 9 years over in Ohio. In all 9 years, he took the Cougars to the Crossroads League tournament with 2 appearances in the championship match and 1 trip to the national tournament. Taylor led by 11th-year head man Scott Stan, and the Trojans having one of their best years in recent memory, as now Davis will carry it on the right side. A little dump to the top in Zare. Tried to slip it on through to Tevens. It was intercepted and cleared out of there by the defense of Indiana Wesleyan. It looked like it was number 3, Tristan Gonzalez, and it was. So Taylor trying to slip a little pass on through to the stellar freshman in Tevens. And Taylor going with a little more offense up top tonight from the midfield. Kate Kortenhoven gets her 2nd career start, and Hannah Davis gets a start at the midfield. It's Davis' 9th start of the year and Kortenhoven's 2nd career start for the freshman. Torn to that defensive mid spot, lays it on back to Raina Williams. She assisted on one of the 3 Taylor goals on Saturday in their 3-1 win over St. Francis. Abbott, the early duties to mark Erin Tevens, will shove her off of her path, and Torn will hold it in. She'll dump it down to Tevens. Left-footed pass, tried to slip it on through to Zare. It's deflected back out, and Davis knocks it down for Taylor. She gets a run on Abbott, right side of the box. She slips, it's kicked out across the end line, and this will be a corner kick for the Trojans from the far side of the field. First corner of the night for TU, and an interesting stat, the Trojans 10-0-2 this year in games where they have scored a goal. They are 0-3, being shut out in all 3 of their losses this season to Spring Arbor, Grace, and Marion. Kortenhoven, an outswinger from the top. This one bounces between the legs of an IWU defender. Here's Savannah Porter volleying one high and wide to the right side of the goal. That one will actually clear the protective fence. And the folks working the sidelines tonight will have to have a little extra work. They'll have to leave the complex to go and chase after that one. The goalkeepers tonight for Indiana Wesleyan, Alex Seebeck, the 5'6 freshman from just up the road here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She's allowed 14 goals this year, stopped 59 shots, a goals against average of 1.00, and a save percentage of just below 81. She has a 9-4 overall record this year. Taylor counters with Megan Williams, the 5'8 sophomore, has allowed just 8 goals all year, a goals against average of 0.8, has stopped 48 shots, has a save percentage of 86%. Both those young ladies right around each other in both saves and goals against average in the Crossroads League. Seebeck 6th in goals against. Williams is 5th. Porter into the box, trying to get away from the goal scorer, Sanford, and she'll send this one to the far side of the field as she was trailing back inside her own box. Taylor in white, jerseys and shorts with white socks, purple numbers trimmed in gold. As we mentioned, Indiana Wesleyan counters in the all-red with white numbers. They are trimmed in gray. Throwing from the far side of the field from Gonzalez to the edge of the box, and then they'll send this one back out. Torrin defending. Moving in is Chloe Jones, and then now she'll get it back on the left side. Her pass deflected, trying to get to Sanford. Inside the box is Sanford back up top. A one-time shot to this one hits off the post. Still loose in the box, and Porter has it on the end line, and she'll clear that one away. Did not see who got the shot for Indiana Wesleyan, but that one ricochets off the near side post, and the Wildcats eerily close, just like they were in the early minutes in their tie with Marion on Saturday from taking an early lead. They had an early opportunity there in the first 2 minutes that they missed wide against the Knights, and this one rattles off the near side post as they tried to beat Williams on their first shot of the night. Pass volleyed in. This one will bounce wide left of the goal and out of bounds, and Williams will set up the goal kick. We apologize for the silence there for the last handful of minutes here out at soccer. We had a technical issue out at with the volleyball broadcast. We got back both up running now like fine oiled machines, and we were ready to go here. Davis on the right side of the box. Into that. Zare's right-footed shot is blocked, and that one will bounce out to the far side of the field. And Davis got tangled up with the defender on the right side of the box. That was number 13, Chloe Jones, and now Davis favoring, looks like that left leg just a little bit. If you're just joining us, IWU had the best opportunity to score so far tonight. They rang one off what is our near side post on the goal to our right within the first 6 minutes of the match starting, but Taylor now attacking the goal to our left. Torrin trying to head it along. It goes off of the shoulder of Chloe Jones and across the end line, and Taylor will have another corner kick here. Just like they did the first time, this one from the far side corner, and Kate Kortenhoven will take it across from us. A quick attack from Kortenhoven. She'll launch this one. It will sail out across the end line. The flag is in the air, still loose in the box. And Tevens went sprawling down to the turf. She will hop back to her feet and try to stretch out that left leg. Sanford with it on the right side of the field as IWU attacks the goal to our right. They're clad in red. Flag is in the air near side. Now it's pushed back down as Taylor regained possession momentarily. Williams will send this one off the jumping Sanford's legs, and it goes out of play, and Taylor will retain the possession. And so an offside, no, they're gonna bring this play all the way back to the other end of the field on the Kortenhoven corner kick, because when she kicked it, it went out of bounds and then curled back in. So I have a feeling we're going to have to put some more time back on the clock. So they will not put any extra time back on, just a couple of seconds difference. And so the goal kick from the keeper, Seebeck, sends it back into play. Claddy, a little left-footed volley to Mills there. Collapsing on it, then it's touched away momentarily by Jackie Fernandez, the defender. Claddy knocks it down again. Davis comes in from the right side for TU. The Trojans in white, Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan in red. Back up to the top of the midfield area, and Alexis Garcia steals it. She's got Sanford in front of her. Garcia gets away from Raina Williams and carries it on the left side of the field. Porter comes down, and she'll take that one right away from Garcia. And it rolls out to the far side, and then Porter's legs get tangled up with Garcia. It rolls out of bounds anyway off of Porter. We'll see if they whistle a foul against the Trojans. That would give a free kick to Indiana Wesleyan on the left side of the field. And it looks like that's going to be the case, as Porter already setting the wall up with her teammates there on the left sideline. Hannah Sievers, the junior from Archdale, North Carolina, will take the free kick about a step inside the left sideline. Three-woman wall for TU. Davis, Claddy, and Lehman. Over the wall, in there. Williams punches it away. Porter tries to clear it. It goes off of Indiana Wesleyan and across the end line. Appealing it was Lexis Garcia, trying to say after it hit her, it went off of a Trojan defender instead. It's ruled that it goes off of Garcia, and Megan Williams, the Taylor keeper, will set up for the goal kick here as Taylor goes from right to left in white. Just about 23 minutes remaining here in half number one. No score between the teams in 4th and 5th place, respectively, in the Crossroads League women's soccer standings. Bashing it deep is Abbott. Raina Williams hustling after it. So watch this one roll. Hits the flag in the far corner, and it'll go across the end line and be a goal kick again for Williams. Taylor gets a break there. Instead of having to throw it in deep in the defensive half, they'll allow Williams to drive this one into the night sky. Lehman got her back of her head on it, Torrin up that far sideline, too far for Davis to get a good jump on it. So Abbott will play it in, but then she has a big touch, and she'll send this one into the far side bleachers and out of play, and Taylor will get a good throw in quickly in from the far sideline in their offensive half. As they are shooting on the goal to our left, Torrin circles to the middle of the field. A left-footed pass in. Tevens got behind the D. Zare will pop it into the top of the box. Just a little bit too far away for Tevens. They try to clear it away right side. Davis gets it, trying to elude Abbott. She'll play it back to the top. Lehman, the first one to it for TU. Fakes playing it in. She'll slide it near side to Kortenhoven, who tries to press it in. Deflected away by Indiana Wesleyan. Here comes Lexis Garcia out and galloping. Clady throws her shoulder in front of the pass. It deflects back to Lehman. She's cleared out on the near sideline. Taylor screams for a foul as Kortenhoven is having defenders pull on her with every step. And then eventually our head referee comes in and signals the foul against Indiana Wesleyan. It looked like it was Lexis Garcia who took Jordan Lehman down. And now the Trojans will have a free kick from this near sideline with 21:20 remaining in the opening half and no score between Taylor and their cross-county foes, Indiana Wesleyan. Hannah Waltz with the braids in her hair will take it from the near side, a right-footed one to the top of the box. Lehman heads it in as Bailey's there had to jog back onside. It goes right on goal and is easily stopped by Seebeck. Good student turnout here tonight. A lot of them wearing the Beat IWU shirts that the Tree of Life bookstore and the Taylor campus store were selling in the lead up to the Taylor Indiana Wesleyan football game back at the beginning of September. Sanford being pestered by Torrin lays it off to Lexis Garcia. This one into the box. And Porter will head it away back into the box by Indiana Wesleyan. It'll bounce to the near side. Porter lets Williams snag it with two hands in the box, and Taylor will retreat back towards midfield. Allie Claudio down on the near sideline. She looks to be the first sub coming in for either side tonight. IWU sends it to the near side. This is Ali Castaneda, and it goes out, and Kortenhoven will throw it in. Goes over Zara's head, takes a bounce on the turf, and before she could touch it on to Tevens, it's IWU sending it back up to midfield before Kortenhoven sends it back into Castaneda. Castaneda eluding Lehman. A long pass that bounces off of Sanford's hip, and she'll play it on down to Shea Mulhery. Pass to the left side of the field by IWU. Davis gets on it. Chloe Jones there marking her. Torrin gives it back to the jogging Davis. Gonzalez cuts off Davis's pass. Her pass back to the middle, poked out by Indiana Wesleyan. And here comes the first sub of the night. It's the forward from Carmel, Indiana, Ali Claudio, to replace Tevens. Temperature in the low 50s as we start play of the night. It'll dip down. It's actually now down to 47. We have a freeze warning coming through here tonight. So most of the young ladies on the field right now have the long sleeves on. Some have gloves on their hands, just like Tevens, who just exited. But Savannah Porter, whose mom and dad are in attendance, they'll attend this match and the next two as their daughter closes out the regular season of her college career. Nana Porter back watching in California. We thank her and the rest of you folks for tuning in tonight as well. Savannah, though, from Northern California, just outside of Sacramento. No sleeves for the California kid tonight. Clady up to Lehman for TU. They try to take it out of the defensive half. Zare out of Colorado dancing with Lehman. She'll let Lehman pass the middle, and here's Ali Claudio. Only red surrounding her. She'll be cut off on the near side by Castaneda. It'll be cleared out to the near sideline by the aforementioned IWU defender Castaneda. And that prevented Claudio from getting a clean release up the middle of the field. Waltz to Clady. Around a defender, and here's Savannah Porter in the defensive half with Sanford closing down on her. Williams a little dump forward to Torrin. And she'll right one near midfield in Jordan Lehman. 18-15 remaining here before halftime. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Points at a premium tonight. Taylor with the win would move up to 12 points and would leapfrog over Indiana Wesleyan in the standings. Here's a big volley forward. Zare tracking it. She collides with the defender Abbott, and IWU able to clear it out of the defensive half for the time being. Porter bashes it in with a right foot. Castaneda cuts it down. Then she'll play to the space on the far sideline. It rolls out, and Taylor will throw it in. TU at one point this season was ranked as high as 18th in the coaches' poll. Both they and Indiana Wesleyan right now receiving votes in the most recent top 25 poll that came out yesterday. The top 5 teams in the league all at least receiving votes. Spring Arbor, the number 1 team in the country. Grayson second, are now tied with Spring Arbor for first in the league. Those two teams play tonight. Grace is 21st in the country, Marion 17th, and then IWU and Taylor both receiving votes. It's a clear breakaway from the top 5 teams in the league. 6 points separate Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene from Bethel, Huntington, and Goshen, who are in a 3-way tie for 6th. Lexis Garcia trying to leg it out to the near side, looking to the middle where Sanford's crashing in. Waltz guarding Garcia, gives her a little bump. Garcia keeps the ball at her feet, passing to the near side. Underneath the feet of Gonzalez, but who's able to track it back down and play near side to Sievers. So send one in Getting in front of it was Porter, and then volleyed high into the air is Claddy. Castaneda down to the middle of the field. Claddy will scoop up the free ball, and she'll work it to her right and Allie Claudio. Freshman to freshman here. The seniors there out in front and running of Claudio. She'll try to get it to her. Goes off the feet of a defender of Indiana Wesleyan, and then it'll be sent back into the other end of the field by Chloe Jones. Williams into Davis near midfield, trying to turn the corner on the defender, but Jones cuts her off. And it's Madison Abbott, who's been all over the field defensively for Indiana Wesleyan here in this first half, to send it back into her attacking half of the field. That's the 50 yards plus to our right. Sanford in the middle, the leading IWU goal scorer, off to Gonzalez. Then takes a big bounce off the foot of Lauren Turner and out of play. Now the Trojans played it. IWU tried to play it back in. It rolled out. And Williams will throw it in for TU on the far sideline. Taylor in white, Indiana Wesleyan in the road red. And Claudia will take this one away from Castaneda. Her pass intercepted and driven in by Chloe Jones all the way up to Tia Sanford, the stellar forward for Indiana Wesleyan. She'll turn to the middle of the field and survey things. She'll pass all the way to the near side of the field, and Hannah Sievers. A flag in the air. It's offside against Indiana Wesleyan. As the Taylor fans down below us were screaming for something, and they finally, it must have been that offside call. They were really yelling hard for it, and they finally get the call down below us. Porter hops, and she'll right foot the free kick forward. This one bouncing around. IWU able to head it down to Sanford. She'll lay it back to reinforcements and Lauren Turner. Jogging with it on the left side, her pass into space. Raina Williams steps forward and plays it up towards Allie Claudio. Tapped away from her by Abbott. Closing in is Davis, trying to work it forward again. It ricochets off of the shin guards of Madison Abbott, and TU will throw it in on the far sideline once again with Raina Williams. Little curl kick over there from Davis. Lehman's pass deflected, but right to the feet of the sprinting Hannah Davis, who's got a head of steam. Here comes the Big Rapids, Michigan native. A centering ball, bouncing through right back to Zare in the box. Left-footed shot is tapped away. Right near side, Kortenhoven back to the middle of the box. Cleared away by Indiana Wesleyan, but Kortenhoven will hold it in on the near side. Back to the top, headed away just before it could get to the feet of Claudio for Taylor. A stellar diving stop for Alex Seebeck keeps our game scoreless as we approach 14 minutes remaining here in the opening half. Seebeck all 5 feet 6 inches of her went diving to her right. That keeps Taylor off the scoreboard. Claudia to the end line. Davis trying to center, goes through a defender's feet. Seebeck will slide on it as Zare was a little late trying to get onto it. About 8 yards behind where that pass came from, but a good try there from Davis to try to center as that ball was dying on the end line to our left. Seebeck's punt near side, easily controlled by Kortenhoven. Back to the middle, it bounces away. And Castaneda plays it all the way up to Sanford for Indiana Wesleyan. She'll find Gonzalez jogging across midfield. And all the way to the left side, and Chloe Jones, the defender, carrying forward. Into the box, Porter heads it down. Sanford was in the area, but cleared away by Claddy of TU. Garcia back into the box over everybody's heads. And Megan Williams, the Taylor keeper, will snag the bouncing ball just outside the 6-yard box. Shea Mulheering has it. Abbott rotating. Claudio making life difficult for her, enough so that Abbott, turning over that right shoulder, bashes it out of play. A quick throw in here for TU, much faster than what we've seen in the past. They'll have to do that one again as the ball bounces and careens off of the steel support holding up the far side bleachers. And Davis will throw it in again. This one might have slipped off of her gloves. It goes off of her shoulder and still held into the field of play. Gonzalez forward, Sanford backpedaling. Bounces off of her shoulder, and Claddy will poke it away from her, but Sanford still flying around Claddy. Lehman poked away by Castaneda. Garcia, will knock it down to the near side, and Sievers up to Sanford. Porter steps in and clears it away near side. Sievers to throw it in deep, looking Sanford's way. Waltz gives her a little bump from behind. Sievers trying to turn the corner on the end line. Porter's right there to clear it away. Garcia heads back to the top of the box, and Turner. She overruns it. Torin will poke it away. Lehman will slice it up to Bailey Zaire. She's got Claudio running. She's got one defender back, but the pass will get to that defender first. She'll play it into the box, and then Seebeck will drive it out of there. It was Jackie Fernandez who was back there deep with Claudio, and the pass just a little bit off target. Prevented Claudio from trying to use her speed to get away from Fernandez. Turner, her pass intercepted by Taylor's Raina Williams. It's deflected back to the middle, takes a bounce back to midfield. Gonzalez will left-footed forward. It's knocked down by Danielle Torin of TU. 11:15 and counting here in half number one. Claudio tried to slip a pass on through, and Castaneda deflected it out to the right side of the field. Claudio knifing in, collided from behind with Gonzalez. Lehman will get the bouncing ball at her feet, fakes the middle, and retreats back to the far side of the field. She'll dump it forward, and here comes Danielle Torin for the Trojans, one of their tri-captains. She'll send it in, trying to find Bailey Zaire off the top of her head, and that one goes just wide of the near side post. 5'2" Bailey Zaire. Torin trying to connect all the way from the opposite sideline, and Zaire's header goes just inches wide of the near side post. Morgan Orm, the second sub for Taylor tonight. She replaces the freshman Kortenhoven. Orm, an all-state forward, back in high school for 2 seasons back in Ohio at Dayton Christian High School. He's got a good shot and can cross it well as well. And so she replaces Kortenhoven. Orm with the ball at her feet here, trying to get away from Castaneda, and does. Back to the middle, poked away by Castaneda. Orm gets it back, and she'll find Lehman with about 5 yards to work with in the middle of the field. She maneuvers to her left, will play back to the right, now draws 2 defenders, a little pass on through, and that just misses Claudio as she was moving with Lehman with step for step as we dip below 10 minutes to go here before halftime. The pass came back to the middle as Lehman was trying to get away from the pesky Castaneda. Davis collides on the right side. A play on is called. Nope. And a late call here. That will draw the ire of the Taylor fans down below us. Torin not happy with it. And so Davis whistled for the foul, and a free kick upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan, 5 yards outside midfield. Christine Martin and Brenna Streeter will be the first 2 subs coming in here for Indiana Wesleyan. Goes off the back of the head of Waltz off the free kick. Castaneda collides with Lehman. It comes to the near side, and now Castaneda will be called for the foul as she turns back and gives her voices her displeasure with the call to our head official. Porter plays the free kick on the ground to Williams. Pass across midfield, tipped by Turner, but gets on to Torin. Taylor attacking the goal to our left. Less than 9 minutes to go in the opening half against the cross-county foes Indiana Wesleyan. We are scoreless. Davis dancing with it. Now accelerates to her left. She'll slip one on through. Trying to find Claudio, and Castaneda will drive it out of there. Trying to head it in from the far side one was Shea Mulheereen, but it goes out before she could play it back in. The 2 subs still remain down here for Indiana Wesleyan. It's headed in, and Orm has got a beat on the right side of the box. Crossing of the end line. This one will sail out of bounds before she could curl it back in. It lands on the back of the goal. And now Martin and Streeter will jog on. We'll see who they replace in the Indiana Wesleyan lineup. They replace Lauren Turner and Shea Mulheereen, number 4 and number 15 for Indiana Wesleyan. 8:02 and counting here in half number one. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Both teams with quality opportunities here in our first 37 minutes plus. Taylor comes into the contest 3rd in the league in goals with 38. Indiana Wesleyan right in the middle of the pack in 5th with 29. Lehman a quick touch, trying to find Torin. A whole bunch of traffic there, and finally Indiana Wesleyan clears it out. Porter back up near midfield. Edging her way in is Gonzalez. This will bounce to Garcia. A left-footed pass to the middle is Claddies for Taylor, and backed over to Danielle Torin, and she'll play it up as Claudio comes accelerating back from the offensive half. Then she'll play to the far side and let Hannah Davis go chase after it. Davis cut off by Jones, rolling back to the middle of the field, and it's cleared away by Indiana Wesleyan before Taylor could put it on frame. Torin to Claudio. Castaneda marking her. Trying to thread the needle through. It's blocked into the air by Williams, and Sanford has it take a bounce away from her. She loses her footing. She and Torin collide, and it bounces to the far side of the field, does the ball. This ball slips all the way through, finds Morgan Orm. Try to dump it on to Lehman, who backheels it over to Orm. Threads it through to Claudio. Big touch, and it's cleared away before Claudio could do anything with it. Good job by the Iwu D after a big touch. And here comes the ball over Williams' head. Garcia a little bit too fast for the pass. Williams edging her away. This one into the box. And it'll be stopped by Williams on the end line, the TU keeper. Sanford circling. Lays it back to Gonzalez. And her pass off target, Garcia, was the closest one to it, and it will just roll all the way into the 18-yard box. 5:43 to go here in half number one. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Taylor has brought in two subs, Orm and Claudio. Same thing for Indiana Wesleyan. Here's the aforementioned Claudio, right side of the field. Davis cutting to her right. She'll pass it into space. Davis curling behind the defender, but the pass was too strong and sent away by Fernandez of Indiana Wesleyan. Here's Abbott hustling after it far sideline, and that one rolls out again. That far sideline has been a bugaboo here in the first half for Indiana Wesleyan. Every time they have a pass or an opportunity to carry it up that far sideline, the ball just takes one extra revolution and rolls out of play, and it's a throw-in for TU on that far side of the field. Cloutey dumping it back to Williams. To the middle of the field over Orm's head. Too far for Zaire to get to, and Severs will knock it away. Lehman holding in, directing traffic. Waltz will curl in. Some space to work here for 16 and white. Back up to Lehman. So right foot one to the middle. Orm centering. Orm shooting wide as she had just a little bit of space as Castaneda was right on her back hip. .435 and counting here in half number one. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Indiana Wesleyan comes in fourth place in the Crossroads League. That's the last spot to host a first-round Crossroads League tournament match. The Trojans are just 1 point back of fourth. They are in a tie for fifth. Seebeck with the goal kick. A short one that Lehman will head straight into the air. Davis has to go off the back of her head. Claudio sprinting her heart out after it. But it rolls out of bounds on that far sideline. And for the first time in a long, long while, Indiana Wesleyan will have a throw-in on the sideline across from us. Williams, a pinpoint pass to Claudio. Quickly up the field, here's Orm. Right edge of the box. Defender in front of her, Orm trying to cross her over. It's poked away. Nicely done by Jackie Fernandez of Indiana Wesleyan. If Orm gets that one, she is home free on the right side of the box and has an opportunity to pretty much do whatever she wants and dictate where she wants the Indiana Wesleyan defense to go. Instead, Fernandez stopped the crossover attempt, poked it out of bounds, and Porter will skip and throw it in to Torrin, who volleys it out to the far sideline. We'll see if it stays in. It does, and Garcia will hold it in and lay it on back. Porter got her forehead on it, but it still bounces to the dangerous Tia Sanford. Williams will knock it out for TU, and Iwu will throw it in on the far sideline. Gonzalez throws it in. It goes over Sanford's head. Porter trying to clear it up that right sideline. Held in by Indiana Wesleyan. Garcia dancing with it. Knocked away from her by Williams. And then Gonzalez gets it back to Sanford, whose one touch to the far sideline will be played in. It goes off of Porter's heel. Williams from the end line for two. That's the keeper, Megan Williams. And she'll sky one out of play. That one will bounce over the fence. And this one will not end up on the baseball field, thankfully, for the sideline workers tonight. Garcia back into space to the teammate who threw it in. Left edge of the field. Garcia's pass knocked down, and Clatty will dump it up to Lehman. Coming back is Claudio. One touch back to Lehman. The defensive pressure will get it for Indiana Wesleyan, and they go back to Lauren Turner in the defensive half. Actually, make that Abbott, all the way to the other side of the field. Williams will snag it with a two-hand snag inside the 18. 2:06 to go here in half number one. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Torrin heads it on up the middle of the field. Jackie Fernandez trying to send it back to Iwu's attacking half. Lehman shoved from behind, and the foul comes. to the joy of the Taylor fans down below us. Porter 7 yards inside midfield. Adjusts the shin guard on her left calf. Looking to her left, right hand into the air, right foot into the ball. Backpedaling is Torren, bouncing in. Lehman will just miss getting a toe on it as the keeper Seebeck comes out and snatches the bouncing ball right in front of Lehman, who is ready to tap it onto the wide open goal mouth. Taylor continuing to knock on the door here. Streeter heads it on. Sanford poked away by Porter. Fought for in the middle. And Torren finally drives it away from the pesky Martin. You hear the call, a minute to go here in half number 1. All the way back up to Sanford. Down to the space. Williams comes in and drives it up towards the Trojan head at midfield. Lehman with Gonzalez all on her back. Claddy will have it roll underneath her feet. And Waltz will give it back to Claddy near midfield. Claddy, little shoulder shimmy to Davis, who will punch it to the middle of the field. Headed out to the near sideline, bouncing in space. Streeter there. Bailey's air comes up from behind to apply some defensive help to Hannah Waltz. Big right foot forward is Sievers. Sanford has it. Porter right there on her hip. Sievers they're falling down is Sanford. And the whistle Porter for the foul, but the trouble right now, as the clock will stop with 20 and 7/10 of a second left, is the leading goal scorer for Indiana Wesleyan, Tia Sanford. Slow to get back up, was initially holding what looked like her left knee, but then was holding her left ankle, but is definitely favoring that left leg right now. 3-woman wall here for Indiana Wesleyan. First-year head coach Daniel Seifert looking for a card against Savannah Porter as he argues the call down below us. Sievers will stand over the ball, hands behind her back. A 3-woman wall for TU. Sievers volleying to the middle. Porter easily reads it, heads it out to Zaire, who heads it up the near sideline with 16 seconds left. Back into the fray, Indiana Wesleyan plays it, and now they'll drive it deep. The keeper, Seebeck, all the way out as Claudio came barreling in, and Seebeck drives it out of there. All the way to the other end with 4 seconds. Waltz will touch it to the near sideline. This one will roll out, and that will be how our first half comes to a close. Scoreless through 45 minutes between the Grant County rivals, Taylor University and Indiana Wesleyan. We're back with the BSN Sports halftime report after this commercial break. This is Taylor Women's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor's full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Play that old song! You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You gotta have the music that you just listen to.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste. Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100 all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You got to have the music that you listeners listen to.
Second half underway here from Turner Stadium. The shots in the first half definitely in favor of TU. The BSN Sports halftime stats brought to you by, of course, BSN Sports. Taylor outshot Indiana Wesleyan 7-2 in that first half. The Trojans also had the only 2 shots on goal. But Indiana Wesleyan, one of their 2 shots from either Mulheering or Sievers, rattled off the post early on in the first half, about 6 minutes in. And that was the best scoring opportunity for Indiana Wesleyan tonight. And Taylor's had a couple on goal that Seebeck has been able to stop a couple other close opportunities as well. As we start this second half, we are scoreless between the 2 cross-county foes. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right. Torrin will play to the near side, and Hannah Davis. The starters the same here to start this second half like they were to start the contest. Waltz, Raina Williams, and Porter, the defenders. Tevens and Zaire, your forwards. Davis, Lehman, Torrin, and Kortenhoven, the midfielders. To the middle, there's Zaire. One touch on, up into the air, and Seebeck makes a save. Oh, a beautiful pass from Davis, and Zaire almost put one in on her 4th shot of the night as she tried to rise it over the 5'6" Seebeck, who got her fingertips on it and tipped it to the sky, and then hauled it back in before it could land back down onto the earth. The 3rd save for Seebeck, her best one so far tonight. And almost 90 seconds into this second half, we remain scoreless, but not from the best opportunity from Zaire tonight. Now Lehman jogging forward. This one will get on through. Zaire will dump it down to Kortenhoven, left wing. Back to the middle of the box. Zaire trying to get to it. Headed to the middle, and Seebeck will scamper on it and snag it before Tevens could collapse on top of her and try to put it on frame. So Taylor ramps up the offensive intensity here. Almost 2 minutes into half 2. As Torrin will deflect it to the middle and right near midfield, inside the circle, back to the feet of Claddy once again. She'll play it behind her heel, then all the way to the far side, and Hannah Waltz, who goes with long sleeves and gloves here in the second half as the temperatures continue to drop. Williams with long sleeves and gloves as well. Bouncing on the near side. Davis trying to get to it on the near sideline. Does. She'll play it back to the middle. Trying to scamper onto it. She'll knock the pass down on the end line. A centering ball. Crashing in. And this one's in! It's in! Hannah Davis finds Bailey Zaire on an absolute beauty of a cross from the end line. And Zaire's header makes it 1-0 Taylor with 42:40 to go here in the second half. Oh, a pin-perfect pass from Hannah Davis. And Zaire heads it in for her 9th goal of the year. And Taylor takes a 1-0 lead over Indiana Wesleyan. That ball could not have been any better from Hannah Davis. And then Zaire goes top shelf with a header. And Taylor takes a 1-0 lead here over Indiana Wesleyan. Hannah Davis with her 4th assist of the year, and Zaire gets her 9th tally of her senior year. So Taylor got close on their first shot here of the second half. Their second one finds the back of the net, and now they'll volley it in deep and trying to get a little insurance here against Indiana Wesleyan. As we mentioned back in the first half, Taylor, the only time they've lost this year is when they've not scored a goal. They've either won or tied every time they've scored. Sanford, she'll send it in, and Williams will smother this one up. As Sanford looked for the answer, and their top goal scorer just took her first shot of the night. And Williams gets her first save of the evening as well. In games where Taylor has scored this year, they are 10-0-2. They are 0-3 in games where they have been shut out, and they want to try to make it 11 wins this year when they score. Our friend Michelle down in Australia chiming in, saying, now that was a goal. You're darn right, sister, it was. That was a goal and a half, I think. It only counted as one, but the level of difficulty and the beauty of it was definitely a goal and a half. Abbott up the near side of the field. Torn and Tevens around her. Sanford trying to accelerate to the middle. Porter will stop her. The ball rolls into empty space, and Kortenhoven will steal it away for TU. Taylor trying to create something. Lehman will drive it in deep. Nobody there in white close enough to it. It rolls into the box and an easy snag for Alex Seebeck. Seebeck skies it. Davis will have a go off of her knee. She'll try to tow it forward. It deflects to the middle. Lehman trying to slip it on to Tevens. Zaire coming out, still loose in the middle, and Indiana Wesleyan will dump it to the far side. But now Madison Abbott, who collided with her teammate Castaneda, is slow to get back up down on the turf. They'll call the athletic training staff, and Joe Walter out to go check on the injured Indiana Wesleyan player with 40-47 to go here in the second half. We will pause momentarily.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
So Madison Abbott, one of the more active defenders tonight for Indiana Wesleyan, helped off the field. She's been taken to the medical tent down below us. Number 10, Michaela Crawford, the 5'4 freshman from Buffalo, New York, has come in to replace her. If you're just joining us, Taylor up 1-0 on the Hannah Davis assist. Bailey Zare's heading goal, right pass to the Seebeck, who's been stellar tonight for Indiana Wesleyan. The Trojans up 1-0. Less than 5 minutes gone here in the second half, and a big match for both teams. A win tonight by Taylor would vault them into at least a share for the top four, the fourth place position, and would drop Indiana Wesleyan out of the top 4 spot. Play on is called, and Taylor will poke the ball away. Kortenhoven to the middle in Lehman. She tries to work it across midfield. This pass in, it goes off of Sanford's toe, and Porter will control it for Taylor. To the near side, and Davis, a little sweep on to Lehman. Back to the near side, and here's Davis surveying the field in front. Here's Stevens looking over that left shoulder, passes a little bit behind her, taken away. Nicely done by Hannah Sievers of Indiana Wesleyan. Lehman to Torin, stepping away from Mulheering. Here's Zare cutting in, goes off for here. She goes back to get it, tried to work it to the middle and trying to find Stevens. Torin puts her foot down and steps in front of that pass. Sievers keeps it working forward, and pouncing on the loose ball near side is Shea Mulheering. Midfield and Mulheering, now she angles to her right. Long pass to the knees of Sanford, and now Waltz will mark her. Davis is passed to the middle, intercepted by Castaneda. Pressing in is Indiana Wesleyan with Lauren Turner. Shoved from behind by Claddy. And there's a foul against the Trojans as Turner hit from behind by the Trojan midfielders. Both Turner and Garcia collided into each other, and they're both slow to get back up. But are both back on their feet and look to be moving under their own power. Gonzalez will stand over this one, hands on her hips. This ball about 31 yards outside the goal. Williams moving the 3-woman wall where she wants them. 38-40 to go, second half. Taylor up 1-0. Gonzalez jogs forward. Right foot's a shot on the high one that'll sail over the crossbar and out of play. Fourth shot of the evening here for Indiana Wesleyan. They have just one on goal, and Williams was able to stop that one earlier in this half. Both teams good on home and on the road. Indiana Wesleyan 4-2-1 on the road. Taylor 5-1-1 here. There are only 9 wins here on the home turf this season. The loss to Grace earlier a couple weeks ago, and the tie with Northwestern Ohio to start the season. Porter left foots this one out of play across from us. As we dip below 38 minutes remaining here in half number 2, Indiana Wesleyan will throw it in, on the far side of the field. A freeze warning in effect here tonight. So we're at 43 degrees right now. Kortenhoven heading it into the air on the end line. This one goes out, and it'll be the first corner of the night here for Indiana Wesleyan. They were dominated in corners Saturday at Marion, with the Knights getting corners 9-2 in favor of Marion that evening. Garcia looks to be standing over this one across from us. Both hands in the air. Garcia's left foot into it. An in-swinger that starts out wide. This shot was blocked, and it careens out to the far side, and Stevens will pop it into the air. It was Fernandez who got her foot on it, but a Taylor defender blocked the shot before it could get anywhere outside of the vicinity of where it was shot. Another shot blocked. This one by Turner. Waltz comes in, and she'll send it out to the near sideline and out of play. So the Taylor defenders getting in the way of Indiana Wesleyan shots here tonight. And Gonzalez will throw it in here for Indiana Wesleyan. And she'll throw it towards the end line, trying to find Turner. Williams will cut her off. That's Raina Williams. And it goes out and sets up a Taylor goal kick here with their keeper, Megan Williams. Both she and Raina, both from Fishers, Indiana, both graduated from Heritage Christian High School, but are not related. No relation. Just about 36 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Zare got her top of her head on it, and a foul called near midfield against Indiana Wesleyan on the goal kick. Their 5th foul of the evening. And the tri-captain, Savannah Porter, will just dump it to the near side, and Raina Williams. Right foots it forward, near sideline to Davis. A one-touch on it. Here comes the always crafty Bailey Zare. Taken off of her toe by Sievers before Zare could do anything with it. She regains possession and will slip it to the far sideline, where Claddy will push it forward to Kortenhoven. Kortenhoven trying to turn the corner to the end line. She'll send it in, crashing into Zare, who tried to put her right outside of her right foot on it. And Indiana Wesleyan will send it back to the far side of the field. Kortenhoven trying to shove her way forward. Lehman will block a pass. It goes off of someone for Indiana Wesleyan, and then the Wildcats will clear it out on the sideline across from us. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right. They have the 1-0 lead thanks to Bailey Zare's 9th goal of the year. Lehman, Tevens, who had no one behind her, goes back all the way to the middle of the field. Torin, Lehman, left-footed shot, wide left and stopped behind the end line by Seebeck. And it will be a corner kick on the near side of the field. Or they'll say the ball landed out before. Yes, they'll say the ball went out of bounds before Seebeck touched it. Ten shots of the night for Taylor, 6 for Indiana Wesleyan. And Jones will spin away from trouble. To the middle and Gonzalez. Davis will step in front and intercept. And trying to find Tevens were the Trojans. And it rolls into the top of the box, and Seebeck will pick it up off the artificial surface. Porter has the bouncing ball, bounce at her feet. Lehman will dump it down. Will knock it down, I should say. And Kortenhoven trying to work it to the middle. Zare will poke it in deep. She'll try to turn on the Jets. She's got the inside position. Left side of the box. Right up to Tevens. Left-footed shot is in! Zare to Tevens! And Taylor takes a 2-0 lead as Turner Stadium comes unglued down below us. 34:05 to go here in the second half. And Zare now with 9 assists on the year. And Tevens with 11 goals. And the Trojans take a 2-0 lead here with 34:05 to go here in half 2. Welcome back, Bailey Zare, who missed 5 matches with a lower body injury, playing in her 4th since coming back from injury. And this is the best she's looked since coming back from that lower body injury. And remember tonight, Taylor doing this without for the second match in a row. No Riley Massey, their freshman starting defender, the 5'10 freshman from Ohio, who had a lower body injury last week. And Zare will slip as her left shoe comes untied. Violation against Taylor on the goal kick. It's a foul against TU, their 6th one tonight. But Taylor, Zare, and Tevens score 8 minutes and 35 seconds apart here in the second half. Zare scores just 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the second half. And Tevens scores almost 60 minutes in. Here's Williams running out, misplayed by Turner. The IWU attacker, the midfielder, came in. She went around Williams, but the ball went to the right side, to our right, Williams' left. Turner went to her left and was able to miss the keeper, Williams, but wasn't able to find the ball behind the Taylor keeper, 0-0 in green. And the other interesting note about both of those goals for Zare and then Tevens, both resulted on misplays in the defensive half by Indiana Wesleyan that first Davis and then Zare pounced upon and made quick work. And then it was Zaire and Stevens to find the back of the net. An off kick, trying to block it, unable to, was Indiana Wesleyan. Kortenhoven fighting for it on the far side of the field with Jones. Kortenhoven trying to get there, poked away. Now Claddy will scoop up the slow rolling ball left sideline. Stevens to Claddy. And taken away, but here comes Lehman to scoop it away from Lauren Turner of Indiana Wesleyan. Williams tried to lead Davis in from the near sideline, sent out by the defense of Indiana Wesleyan. That's number 18, Juliana Corns, it looks like. Nope, it was number 10, Crawford. To the end line, Zaire. Stevens trying to move her way in. And could not put it on frame. Hustling for it near side was Mohireen. Couldn't get to it. And Williams will allow Davis to throw this one in front of her own bench. Stevens trying to head it forward, instead moves it back up the near sideline. Torrin in deep over Davis's head and out of bounds by a yard and a half. Sub coming in for Indiana Wesleyan is number 5, Madison Abbott, who was hurt a few moments ago, went into the tent. And it's good to see her back out on the field. She replaces the young lady who replaced for her, Michaela Crawford. So 15 minutes into the second half, Taylor on top, 2-0 over Indiana Wesleyan. Crawford gets away from Raina Williams. She'll pass it forward. Hannah Waltz, the inside position on Lexus Garcia. Will play to the near side, and Waltz will get onto it, curl it up. It'll roll out. But a rousing ovation there for Hannah Waltz to get inside position on Garcia, who is very fleet-footed, the junior out of California. Here's Garcia to the end line. Her cross blocked by Williams, stays in the field of play. Garcia measuring, will play it around Williams. Megan Williams calls for it and gets it. Then she'll rip it out to the right side with a right arm throw. Kortenhoven up to Claddy. All the way to midfield and Stevens, who overruns it now. Here comes Indiana Wesleyan with an opportunity as they pinball passes around away from the defenders clad in white. Turner to their top goal scorer, Sanford, into space. Davis will beat Mohireen there by a couple steps, and then Mohireen takes it away. Back up the near sideline towards the Iwu bench. Moving forward is Sievers. All the way to the far side of the field in Castaneda. But she and Kate Kortenhoven of Taylor will watch this one roll out of play, and the Trojans will have a throw-in on the far sideline with 28.5 minutes remaining here in half number 2, and Taylor on top 2-0 here over Indiana Wesleyan. A win by the Trojans tonight would put them into at least a tie for 4th in the Crossroads League standings, and what would come with that, a first-round tournament game here in Upland, Indiana. With Indiana Wesleyan a win, they can move all the way up to 3rd if Marion loses tonight on the road at Bethel. But the Knights up 1-0 at last check. Bouncing around, Lehman trying to work it on to Stevens. Now here's Zaire, back to Stevens, and that one almost got through again. Defense there by Chloe Jones to block it. Taylor works it to the far sideline in Kortenhoven. The freshman measuring, curling one in. Zaire heads it straight into the air, and that one goes wide to the far side, out of play across the end line. Sienna Pinsky and Brianna Streeter come in here in the second half. We saw Streeter in the first half. She replaces Mohireen. And Pinsky comes in to replace Castaneda. A goal kick for Seebeck, the keeper for Indiana Wesleyan. She is clad in all blue. Lehman puts that right shoulder forward to Zaire. Wanted to send Davis into space. The pass was blocked, and keeping it in the near sideline. Down below us is Sievers. Her pass intercepted by Torrin. Lehman trying to find Zaire. Davis gets it back to Zaire near sideline. Lehman threading the needle to Stevens. Plays it on back to Claddy. Has got 10 yards of space to work with. And she'll go cross field, far sideline to Kortenhoven. A one-touch to Stevens. Pressure comes from behind, and Tevens loses it. But Cloudy able to get the loose ball on the left side of the field. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right. Torrin a long pass through to Zaire. Back to Torrin in the middle. Danielle carrying forward to the back heel of Bailey Zaire. Little left-footed pass. Now here comes Kortenhoven crashing in left side of the box. Across that Seebeck will snatch out of the air on the fingertips as Kortenhoven was trying to connect with Davis on the weak side post. Seebeck might be only 5'6", but she has really tracked some shots and crosses tonight. With that diminutive size, or that shorter size than what you see out of most goalies. Both the backups for Indiana Wesleyan, 5'10" and 5'11". But Seebeck has done really, really well tonight for IWU. Lehman, left side, a little pass into traffic to Zaire. Backs away, trying to thread it on through to Tevens. She'll run to the end line, trying to get to it first, and she couldn't play it off the defender that was right there. That was Streeter. Nice job by Streeter to force Tevens wide. And now Tevens will exit and replaced by Ali Claudio. So Tevens will get a nice ovation here. Getting her first taste of the Taylor-Indiana Wesleyan rivalry. And Claudio gets it off the deflection. We'll play it into space, let Hannah Davis go jog after it. Davis with 1 assist tonight, end line, a big touch. It goes out across the end line off of the IWU defender, and Taylor will have a corner from the near side of that. Brings some excitement down to her teammates down below us, clad in heavy jackets. Third corner for Taylor, their first one here of half number 2. And Kortenhoven will take it from the near sideline with no Emily Calvani tonight again for TU. Right foot into it, to the middle of the box. Seebeck is there, punching it away. It'll dance up towards the far side corner, and Lehman will track it down. Good job by Seebeck to punch it away with Danielle Torrin right in front of her. This ball will go from the opposite side of the field all the way to the near side, as Streeter will chase after it for Indiana Wesleyan. Davis right in front of her. Sanford comes all the way back across midfield. A big touch from Gonzalez goes out into the Taylor bench, and Raina Williams will throw it in for the Trojans. All the way up the field is Zaire. 3 defenders around her. She'll left foot one into space. Torrin overran it, but got it back. A little volley to the top. There's Ali Claudio for Taylor. Wants to spin over that left shoulder, try to pass it in. It was deflected and cleared away. Cloudy will hold it in for TU. Cloudy will pop it up. Claudio will get it. And then back to Cloudy again, left side of the field. Then back to Claudio again in the middle. Claudio collides with Gonzalez, and they call Ali Claudio for the foul. She trying to climb on top of Gonzalez. 7th foul against TU tonight, 5 for Indiana Wesleyan. But the Trojans lead where it counts, 2-0. Less than 24 minutes remaining here in the second half. Porter with a big header back up near midfield. And Zaire will dance back with it to the defensive half. Porter a big right foot forward. Into space, Davis colliding with Streeter, and she'll steal it away. Davis with some fancy footwork. She'll be shoved to the turf. And here comes the foul against Indiana Wesleyan. 6th one against the visitors. And Streeter got too physical there with the midfielder, Hannah Davis. Porter will take this free kick 10 yards inside midfield. A little hop and a right foot bomb forward. Torrin trying to track it. She'll get her head on it. This one to the near side corner. And they whistle Danielle for the foul as she threw all of her body weight into what looked to be Madison Abbott. 8th foul against TU tonight. Trojans in white, purple numbers trimmed in gold. Indiana Wesleyan in red with white numbers trimmed in gray. Actually, no trim on those numbers. They have the gray trim around the shoulders. 22-24 to go second half. Both second half goals by TU scored a little over 8 minutes apart. The young lady on the near side, Bailey's there fighting for it. She had the first goal, and she assisted on the second one for TU. Tevens scored the second. Davis throws her body in front of this one, but they'll say a hitter on the hand, or in the forearm, I should say. And it'll be a handball against Taylor and Hannah Davis from Big Rapids, Michigan. Davis throws her head on it. Rotating his Lehman, then back to midfield and Davis. Sanford comes from behind, applies pressure. Zaire a little touch to the near sideline, too far for anyone in white to get to. And Shea Mulheering comes back in for Indiana Wesleyan. She replaces the midfielder Lauren Turner. 21-35 and counting here in half number 2. Taylor 2, Indiana Wesleyan 0. Torrin heads it back in after the throw-in from Indiana Wesleyan. Leaping forward is Abbott. Davis fighting for it on the near side. She'll touch it into space in her teammate Danielle Torrin. Back to the near side and Davis. A one-touch to Zare, trying to give it back to Davis again. Throwing her body all around is Davis. Just missed another block on a pass attempt by Indiana Wesleyan. Sanford to the middle, where she finds Jackie Fernandez, and she'll play one deep to Lexis Garcia. Waltz there right with her. Garcia trying to cross her to the middle. Long-range shot easily stopped on a late skip there by Megan Williams. Her second stop of the night. As Garcia's first shot from long range, a big rocket of a left foot. But right to where Megan Williams was standing. Her second stop, and we remain at Taylor up 2-0. Big bounce off the goal kick to the feet of Abbott, who sends it to the far sideline, and this one will bounce out of play. Taylor passing it on the far side of the field. Lehman threading it on through to Claddy. Left foots one to Danielle Torrin, who left foots it onto the near sideline, and Raina Williams. Running up the football number, she'll pass it in deep, and now Davis will turn on the Jets, trying to be the first one to it. She will not be there. She'll be late by about 3 steps as Hannah Sievers turned on the wheels and beat Davis towards the ball where the ball was rolling, and it goes out of play. Morgan Orm comes in for TU. She replaces Hannah Davis. 19:43 remaining here in half number 2. Taylor on top 2-0 over Indiana Wesleyan. Out to the far sideline. Kortenhoven will watch it roll out. And Hannah Waltz will throw it in for Taylor. Lehman to the end line. Kortenhoven chasing after it. And this one cleared away by the back line of Iowa. Chloe Jones the one to send it out of bounds to the far sideline. And so Porter runs forward. She'll throw it in for TU. Torrin trying to work it along, deflected out. Across the end line, last touched by whom? By Danielle Torrin. And so it's a goal kick here for Indiana Wesleyan. A quick restart out to the far side, and Abbott. Big right-footed pass. That one will hit off the chain link fence that separates the front row of bleachers across from us from the playing surface. And Williams will touch this pass down and carry across midfield. Taylor attacking the goal to our right. They're up 2-0 with 18:14 remaining here in half number 2. Claudio trying to find Orm, her pass off target. Iwu quickly up the field to the California kid and Tia Sanford. Raina Williams intercepts the pass near midfield for Taylor. Trying to work it along to Zare. Touching it on near sideline, and Claudio trying to get away from Streeter. Claudio able to get break free, but could not connect with Zare and Lehman. Torrin will poke it forward, and now here's Lehman for TU dancing on the near side of the field. She'll rotate back to the middle. Claudio ducks out of the way of a crossing pass. Abbott gets it and knocks it down and sends it back up into the vicinity of midfield. Garcia jumps out of the way, and now Porter will move it forward for the Trojans. Abbott blocks this one. Her pass blocked by Claudio. Zare comes in and tries to make life difficult for the Iwu backline as they try to get it out of their defensive half. Sanford 5 yards inside midfield, back across the midfield stripe. Torrin will intercept and right-footed forward to Bailey Zare. Zare, a left-footed pass, too far for Kortenhoven to get to, and Hannah Sievers will clear that one away. Sanford again trying to get away from Waltz. It was Porter who had the job of marking 7 in red back in the first half. Waltz has garnered that duty here in half 2. Claudio slicing it on through to Zare. into space. Orm trying to get away from one defender. Couldn't get to the second, but then that second defender's pass too slow, and Orm will steal it. Torin to the box, headed up, and out of trouble for the time being by Indiana Wesleyan. Torin back towards the top of the 18. Trying to head that one out of there is Mulheeren, and Torin will find Claddy in the middle all by herself. Gonzalez was in front of Zaire and pokes it away for Indiana Wesleyan. Midfield is Sanford with Waltz right on her back. 16-10 remaining here in half number 2. Raina Williams throws her right hip in front and will press it forward for Taylor with Garcia right on her back. The two players jostling for position. Taylor looking for a foul on Garcia. Indiana Wesleyan looking for the same on Raina Williams. Here's Porter to mark Garcia. Steps right in front. Garcia runs through the tackle attempt of Porter, and then Williams blocks a pass out of bounds near sideline. Lauren Turner will come in for Indiana Wesleyan. With 15:40 and counting here in half number 2. Turner replaces another sub in Brenna Streeter. Turner started the match, 5'9" freshman from Shelby Township, Michigan. 9 goals and an assist on the year, second on the IWU roster in goals behind Sanford as the ball thrown to her on the end line. She had a step on Porter, who'll curl this one all the way to the other side of the post, but that ball curled out of play before it came back down in play. We've seen Taylor have that happen to him a couple times on corners tonight. This one happens in the run of play with Sanford and IWU. And Megan Williams will get ready for a goal kick. She'll take this one just at about 15 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Claudio muscling forward. Into space, wanting to find Kortenhoven, and then it's cleared out of there by the IWU back line once again. Backpedaling is Waltz. Knocked down by Turner with fresh legs off the bench. Up to Sanford. To the end line. Sanford tracking it. Porter right there. And sent it in and cleared out by Waltz to the far sideline. And Kortenhoven all the way up to Zaire. And this is the best that Bailey has looked since coming back from that lower body injury. Torin up to Lehman at midfield. Claudio crashing to the middle. Lehman will play all the way near side to Orm, who's onside, has to come back to get the pass. Dribbles to the top of the box, left-footed shot towards the far side. It'll bounce up the far sideline. Lehman sprinting after it, but it'll roll out to the right and go out of play. A good idea there from the Trojans. The ball just checked up before it got to Orm. She had to come back to get it near the top of the box. And either her left-footed pass or left-footed shot was sent wide of the goal across from us. 13:40 and ticking here in the second half. Porter sprinting after, trying to beat Sanford to it, cannot. Sanford retreats and gives it back to Gonzalez. Pass too low at the feet, and this one rolls all the way. Slowly, and finally revolves out of play. Across the end line, and a goal kick for Taylor. Stevens jogging down on the near sideline. It looks along with Emma Walsh. And Torin whistled for the foul. And now it looks like she gets a warning here from our head official as Torin went crashing into Garcia. That's the second time we've seen Torin crash into somebody, and now she has the eye of our head official. So if that happens again, you would assume you'd see the yellow card come out against 23 in white. The free kick into the box, nobody there in red. Williams will catch it on the high bounce and hold it over her head, tightly in the grasp of those two gloved hands. So Stevens and Davis down on the midfield stripe. They are ready to come back in for Taylor for the final 12 minutes or so. And Castaneda, the defender for Indiana Wesleyan, is down there as well. Raina Williams, a little soft knee forward. Orm trying to come back to get to it. Skied into the air, near side. It will land just over the near side bench. And Emma Walsh will come in for Taylor as well. First time we've seen 19 in white tonight. Walsh replaces Zaire. Stevens replaces Claudio. Davis replaces Orm as Zaire gets a nice round of applause down below us. And Castaneda comes back in here for Indiana Wesleyan. She'll move forward in almost an attacking position. They throw it into Sanford near side. Raina Williams marking her. Sanford, a centering ball. Here's Waltz. It's deflected out to the near sideline by Indiana Wesleyan. They'll say last touched by Waltz, who was pointing in the opposite direction. 11:30 to go here in the second half. IWU trailing Taylor 2-0. They have the ball in their attacking half for the first time in a long time here in the second half. They had just 2 shots at halftime, none of them on goal. And a foul near the ball called against Indiana Wesleyan, their 7th. No cards, but a fairly physical match with Taylor with 9 fouls and Indiana Wesleyan with 7. So Savannah Porter, the senior from Galt, California, will take the free kick from the defensive half. Up to Lehman, sidestepping Garcia. Pass in tight space to Davis. And deflected out by Indiana Wesleyan's defenders. 10:49 and counting in half number 2. Taylor up 2-0. Thanks to second half goals by Zaire and Stevens. Quick throw in from Gonzalez. To the end line, she'll let Sanford go chase after it. Williams there on the initial defense, and then there's Porter to deflect a pass, and then she'll clear it out to the near sideline. Held in by Sievers. Waltz will push it forward. Abbott's pass to Garcia, too far for her. She out threw that left leg out there. And it goes out across the end line, and Taylor will have a goal kick here once again. So we approach 10 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Taylor had a couple good chances there in the first half, and just like we mentioned in that first half, Indiana Wesleyan, almost a mirror image of what happened on Saturday at Marion. It was Tristan Gonzalez. Her only shot came 2 minutes into that match, and it looked like she was going to put IWU on top 1-0. A late foul on the back end. It's called against Indiana Wesleyan, a free kick upcoming for Taylor. But that Gonzalez shot 2 minutes in last Saturday at Marion, the goalkeeper fell down, was out of the goal, but Gonzalez missed the shot wide, and that match ended in a 0-0 draw after 2 overtimes. Here, Indiana Wesleyan had just 2 shots in the first half. Their very first one rattled the entire goal frame on the near side post. As Danielle Torn with a beautiful blocked pass here. Garcia playing from the turf, and the foul called against Garcia. And that's the 9th one against the visitors. As Garcia and Torren have been jostling back and forth the entire night at the midfield. And the other interesting note is that both of those goals scored by Taylor in the second half both came after misplays defensively by the IWU back line. First, it was Davis who pounced on a loose ball to the end line, centered an absolute picture-perfect beauty that Zaire headed in. And then Zaire took advantage of a misplay defensively by Indiana Wesleyan, found Stevens, and Taylor's up 2-0 with 8:30 to go here in the second half. A win tonight will put Taylor at least into a tie for the 4th spot in the Crossroads League standings, depending on what Mount Vernon does tonight. And also potentially, if Marion has a setback tonight at Bethel, the Trojans could move all the way up to 3rd. As again, as we mentioned, that last check, Marion was up 1-0 on the road at Bethel when we checked it during halftime. Nice little pass from Stevens. Walsh, she'll push it on to Kortenhoven, and there's empty space in front of Kortenhoven. Left side, pass to the middle, deflected once, and Garcia's back there for Indiana Wesleyan for a whole sea of red, and now the ball bounces all the way up to Sanford, and then Porter will sachet this one around the dangerous Sanford. The explosive Kortenhoven to the end line, left-footed centering ball. Walsh a little one-touch on. There's Stevens one-on-one, and Stevens with her second goal of the night, and that might do it here from Upland, Indiana. 7:32 to go, second half, and Stevens gets her second goal of the night, and Taylor leads 3-0 here over Indiana Wesleyan. So give Emma Walsh the assist. Her second assist of the night. She comes in off the bench, and with 7:32 to go, the Trojans have taken a stranglehold 3-0 lead here over Indiana Wesleyan. And now Davis will intercept this kickoff. Up to Walsh. Just rolls away from 19 and white. Iowa will throw it in quickly. And they're going to need shots and need them quickly here. Down 3-0 with 7:16 remaining here in half number 2. In a rivalry game, you need your star players to come out and play, and that's exactly what's happened tonight for TU. Tevens with the last 2 goals, Zare with the icebreaker, then an assist on the second one. The 2 of them came in 1-2 in goals on the year. Tevens first in goals now with 12. Zare now with 9. And Taylor 6 minutes and 36 seconds away from picking up their 4th win in the league this year and their 11th win overall. And a really, really strong performance after coming in after losing 2 out of their last 3. They lost back-to-back matches to Grace and Marion by 1-0 finals, and then beat St. Francis on Saturday 3-1. Garcia spins, and they might whistle Walsh for the foul here. And Walsh not happy with it now. The yellow card's going to come out against 19 and white. The Taylor bench and the fans down below us not happy with it. They'll stop the clock with 6:03 left, and the yellow card comes out against Emma Walsh. She was standing right there, but it looked like she did not allow Garcia. And our head official will go over and talk things over with Taylor head coach Scott Stan, trying to get an explanation on why the foul was called against Emma Walsh. The Taylor fans down below us still irate at that foul, that the yellow card came out against Walsh. Walsh couldn't believe it. And then when she protested, that's when it looked like the card came out. Tevens touching it down into space. Her path cut off by Sievers. Then Tevens will fight back, and she's almost able to steal it away from Abbott, who comes back to help. Davis to Tevens. Tevens grabbed around the waist and gets hit in the jaw. But she's a tough kid out of Illinois. She keeps on trucking. Gonzalez will send it in deep. Williams and Porter collapsing. Williams will just usher Abbott out of the way as Porter watches this one roll across the end line. Abbott will jump into the flag, trying to look for a foul that will not come her way. Or maybe there is one. Yes, it will come as Abbott was ushered into the corner. 10th foul against Taylor tonight. We didn't hear the whistle until the ball was already getting set up for what will look to be either a throw-in or a goal kick for TU. And Abbott will right foot one into the box, headed out of there by Torn, back to the near side. Garcia will hold it in, back into space in Abbott. Walsh comes back, trying to get in front. A clean service in. Porter will leap into the air and cannot clear it away cleanly. Williams comes through and just runs right through Gonzalez. And here comes Claddy out running to the far sideline for TU. Claddy up to her classmate Tevens, to the midfield and Lehman. Here comes Walsh near side. Taylor trying to work it on through. He'll go behind Walsh, and now here comes Davis. On the right sideline for TU, Davis measuring, moving to her left. Up top to Lehman. Pressure comes from behind by Sanford. Lehman trying to turn to the middle. It's poked away by Sanford. And Raina Williams will hold it in for TU. Near sideline pass, Hannah Davis. Fakes to her right now, working back to her left. Plays it between the legs of the defender. Davis centering ball, trying to get it to Walsh. And it's cleared away to the near sideline. And if that ball finds the back of the net, the place is going to lose its mind for the second time tonight. Davis just got oh so cheeky playing in between the defender's legs. That got her teammates going. That got the bench going, or the fans down below us going. As Maddie Gilliam and Becca Schwolst come in for Taylor with less than 4 to go in this second half. Abbott will exit for Indiana Wesleyan. As Hannah Adams, number 25, comes in for the visiting Wildcats. Out across the end line, or near sideline, TU will throw it in with Porter. 3:30 to go here in half number 2. Porter throwing it in. Headed out to the near side of the field. Turner almost overruns it. Porter sending it back in. Davis will block it. It rolls to the near sideline and out of play. Turner accelerating from the near sideline. Torn throws her foot in front and stops her path. So work it to the middle. It rolls past everybody, and Seebeck will snag it in the box for Indiana Wesleyan with 2:50 remaining here in the second half. Schwolst fighting for it. A pass to the middle. Raina Williams, the only one there for Taylor. Up to Danielle Torren. A little tight space to Claddy. She and Castaneda both fall down. Taylor looks for a foul on Castaneda. That will not come. Schwolst to Walsh. Left side of the field. Walsh hits the brakes, angling back to her right. Up the far sideline, too far for Becca Schwolst. Gilliam blocking two passes. This one will stay in on the far sideline, then driven forward by Sievers. Porter right foot forward. Over Castaneda's head and out of play. This one goes out of bounds, and Taylor will have a throw in with 96 seconds remaining here in the second half, and they lead 3-0. High into the air, Waltz trying to box out Garcia. The ball squirts on through. Schwolst trying to get away from Castaneda. It goes out as we approach a minute remaining here in the second half, and Taylor on top by 3. Walsh taken down to a knee, a little pop up to Schwolst, but it goes out before Schwolst could play it forward. Two-handed heave in. Sanford there. And there's a minute remaining in the contest here. So Taylor will improve to 11-3-2 on the year. They're 48 seconds away from their 8th shutout of the year. As it bounces in, Williams will stop it. They'll improve to 4-3 with their final regular season home match coming up on Saturday when they take on Huntington at 7 p.m. That will be senior night. It'll be a lot of fun. As Megan Williams will drive it forward. Torren will sky it into the air. Played back in by Fernandez of Indiana Wesleyan for the time being. Castaneda, her pass blocked by Gilliam. And Taylor will pick up their 6th win here at home and remain undefeated when they score at least 1 goal. Sanford's shot off the back of her heel. And the final 10-second countdown is on. And that'll do it. Taylor wins 3-0, getting 3 second-half goals over Indiana Wesleyan to improve to 11-3-2 on the year, 4-3 in Crossroads League play. Our woman of the match is senior tri-captain Bailey Zaire. She gets the game winner. She also assisted on the second goal of the night as well. Erin Tevens chipped in 2 goals, and Emma Walsh had an assist as well. Megan Williams had 2 saves here tonight. We thank Jacob up top for running our camera. We thank you folks for tuning in tonight as well. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. This has been a presentation of Taylor Women's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network.